Every morning, Grace walked into the towering glass building with a mop and a cart, blending into the shadows of a world that barely noticed her. The employees at Morrow and Company, a prestigious consulting firm, passed by her without a second glance. To them, she was just another cleaner. But Grace had secrets, and soon, the firm would learn what it meant to underestimate someone like her. Morrow and Company prided itself on excellence, serving high-profile clients and securing million-dollar deals. The sharp-dressed executives and polished offices reflected a company at the top of its game. Yet, beneath the glossy exterior, the culture was toxic, built on arrogance and disregard for anyone deemed unimportant. Grace, in her plain uniform and scuffed shoes, was invisible to those at the top, but she didn't mind. She wasn't there for recognition. Years ago, she had built Morrow and Company from scratch, pouring her soul into the company. Health issues forced her to step back, so she handed control to her cousin, Robert. She trusted him to uphold her vision, a company grounded in respect and integrity. But what she saw from the shadows broke her heart. Robert had grown distant, delegating most decisions to others. Those who took charge, like Mark, the CEO, and Carla, the head of strategy, embodied greed and entitlement. Mark treated lower-level staff like dirt, and Carla dismissed anyone who didn't directly benefit her ambitions. Together, they had eroded the company's core values. One day, as Grace emptied trash bins near the executive offices, she overheard a conversation that chilled her. "They're a drain on resources," Carla said, her tone sharp with disdain. "We should outsource the cleaning staff. They're not worth the expense." Mark laughed. "Exactly. They should be grateful they even have jobs. Replace them, and no one will care." Grace tightened her grip on the mop handle, rage simmering beneath her calm facade. These were the people running the company she had built with blood, sweat, and tears. But it wasn't just their arrogance that hurt. It was Mark's growing audacity. His dismissive stares soon turned into something darker. "Grace," he said one day, stopping her in the hallway. His eyes lingered too long, and his smile sent a shiver down her spine. "You've got potential. I could help you, if you're willing to cooperate." Grace forced a polite smile, hiding the storm inside. "Thank you, but I'm fine where I am." Mark leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Think it over. You wouldn't want to miss an opportunity." Grace felt trapped but refused to show it. She knew she couldn't act on impulse. Not yet. For weeks, she endured Mark's veiled threats and inappropriate comments. Her patience wore thin, but she kept her composure. She was gathering evidence, observing, waiting for the right moment to strike. The breaking point came one evening in the parking garage. Mark cornered her, his tone no longer playful but menacing. "Don't make this harder than it has to be," he said, blocking her path. "I could ruin you, or I could make things very easy." Grace's heart pounded, but she met his gaze with cold determination. "Careful, Mark. You might regret this." The next morning, everything changed. Grace entered the building, not as a janitor but as herself, the founder and majority owner of Morrow and Company. Dressed in an elegant suit, she walked into the boardroom where Mark, Carla, and the other executives waited. Their smug expressions faded as she stood at the head of the table. "Good morning," she said, her voice steady and commanding. "Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Grace Hammond, the founder of this company." Silence fell over the room. Mark's face turned pale. "This is some kind of joke," he stammered. "No," Grace said firmly, "but your behavior has been. I've spent weeks observing the rot within this company. You, Mark, have harassed and mistreated employees, abused your power, and betrayed everything this firm stands for. Effective immediately, you're fired." Security entered to escort Mark out. His protests fell on deaf ears. Carla was next, her attempts to justify herself met with icy silence. As the toxic leaders were removed, Grace addressed the remaining employees. "This company was built on respect and integrity. That's what we'll restore. For those who share that vision, you have nothing to fear. For those who don't, there's the door." In the weeks that followed, Morrow and Company transformed. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a culture of collaboration and mutual respect. Grace, though scarred by what she'd witnessed, felt a renewed sense of purpose. Looking out over the city skyline from her office, she smiled. She had taken back what was hers, not just a company, but its soul.